Elizabeth Warren not only shot her potential actual power base in the face, but she shot herself in the face on many, many occasions. Her political calculation ability is absolutely ridiculous. She makes such dumb mistakes that she thinks one characteristic of her is the qualification, the fact that she's a woman. She's so bought into that she's forgotten everything else, and that she used to care about anything else that seems to be completely lost to her. And I find it bizarre and insane and strange and disturbing on every level.
She has a chip missing somewhere. She's not getting the whole picture.
It seems like her. If there's a smart political decision, even obvious to a normal dummy, like you or I, she does it. She's completely over her head. Completely, 100%.
It's baffling. You're gonna purposely stab Bernie Sanders on stage and say he's a sexist, and then go out and accuse his supporters of being sexist. I mean, what do you think you're doing to that whole movement? You're not playing a political game to win people over. You're creating new enemies.
And what do you think you're going to get out of it? Do you think that the establishment is going to love you now? No, they don't like you either. Nobody likes you now. Everyone hates you because you're.
Well, I mean, who knows? She could still be Biden's VP. I don't know. He said he's going to pick. Didn't he say he? I forget if it was just picking a woman or a woman of color as well.
No, he said he would pick a woman. He said he would pick a woman. He said,
I thought he was going to pick a transgender woman of color only.
A transgender woman of color. It's interesting that that's the single news story that came out of the debate. That really is the only thing people were focused on. Joe Biden is committed to choosing a woman. The identity.
Sarah Palin.
Yeah, there's a lady from Sunny D and Rum, that YouTube video that everyone saw a few years ago.
Did you mention that to me last video?
I did.
I still haven't seen that.
Every time I have a conversation, I mention it with someone.
That'll be on the soundboard.
Yeah, it's a good song. Search Sunny D and Rum on YouTube, and you will find wonders that you'd never had imagined before.
Search it right now.
I don't blame you.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, I interrupting is my bread and butter.
Picking a woman
and the ease of being bought and the ease of making people give up even their ego-driven campaigns is something that I learned from this particular campaign. And that understanding the levers of power is more important than maybe Bernie Sanders might imagine. So on the Bernie Sanders front, levers of power, LBJ, giving spare ribs to the journalists and inviting them to your ranch. I'm not saying that. I mean, saying that in a very simplistic sense, because there is a way for him to coerce the media into being on his team rather than declaring his animosity toward them. On the Pete Buttigieg front, it's a sadness that someone who is totally ambition driven and would sell out immediately. I have no fan of Pete Buttigieg, obviously, but he immediately just collapsed. He caved immediately. It's obviously
but see,
a
that's
system.
The thing. I really they're probably just getting they're getting long-term deals.
Right, exactly.
They're saying, so we're going to finance your next campaign. You're going to be plugged in here. It's as though
it's all solidifying against actual things that I want to happen.
It's disturbing to see the people making a choice. The people recognize a problem by picking a candidate that speaks about the problem in a way that's honest, and the people vote for that person because they want that person to be president. And then these snakes in power, they pull every lever, every string they have available to them, and
it's enough.
Gradually constrict until
it's enough.
Well, so
it's
far
more
it
than
hasn't
enough. Yeah.
But I mean, this isn't over yet, and the coronavirus could be the thing that makes. I mean, Bernie might win despite it because it's proving his point.
The last ray of hope is Donald Trump. He's proof of concept that people can get what they want. I
was just listening to Jimmy Dore was talking to Dylan Radigan, that guy he always likes to play. But anyway,
I don't listen to Jimmy Dore. I know,
but
me on a personal level.
Well, that's fair, but he's usually ahead of the curve as far as what's going on. I think to a degree. They were talking about Trump only wants to be liked, and this crisis could end up making UBI, universal health care, all permanent under Trump. He could institute them. He then would be like a great president if
The
this
savior
all
of the
goes,
people.
yes, he ends up having Bernie Sanders' platform out of circumstance.
That would be hilarious. I wouldn't
That,
mind that. I wouldn't be
who
upset by
would?
that.
Wouldn't that be
That
incredible?
would be incredible. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
I
At
don't know if
least
it would happen.
because
Yeah.
I feel like at least Donald Trump is pure in the sense that he
He's all about number one.
yeah, in the sense that he was able to he's the enemy of the media, he's the enemy of normal establishment. He made it. He is the
Yes.
president. Everyone hates him who is in any position of power, almost.
That's what I'm saying, right?
And
Yeah, I like
that's the
guns
only
because
good
Pete
aspect.
Buttigieg doesn't like guns. I like Donald Trump because CNN doesn't like Trump.
Yeah. And there's nothing likable
They
about
make
Donald
the
Trump.
choice for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have to go. It's more democratic. Oh, you don't like this guy? Well, then there must be something good about him.
Yeah. Maybe I've misjudged Trump.
No, really. If all the mechanisms of power, I mean, they've tried to get this guy so many times.
Yeah.
The Russiagate thing, the impeachment, and it never sticks. It never works. All of his advisors turn on him and try to say things about him in the press, and it always goes against them. He's like I don't know. It's
well, that's
interesting.
my sort of proof against conspiracy theories, partially because of Trump's ability to Teflon Don it away. You know what I mean? It's his ability to, if it were truly
he makes it out of this
a
coronavirus.
global, well, yeah, if he makes, and I'm sure that he probably will. It's his ability to deflect and avoid and control the status quo that prevents me from believing any sort of overarching conspiracy theory that people normally believe.
Unless he's
The
just
government's
a
behind it.
supernatural figure.
I mean,
he's like a
Yeah,
he's
he's a splice in the in
not
the
really
simulation.
that good at anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because he's a failure and a success. His businesses all failed. He went
Right.
bankrupt, but he brought them back somehow.
No. We brought them back with his TV show.
Basically, so which is weird and crazy. And then he converted that into the presidency. Now he has all the nukes, the actual nuclear bombs. He is in charge
He's
of.
the most powerful person on the planet Earth right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't necessarily believe in not shaking hands or getting tested for coronavirus.
Right.
But he's
Right. Yeah.
and he eats McDonald's mostly.
He's a splice. He is
It's maybe it is a character from Jurassic Park, the Newman character, because
he's an A/B test. And an A/B test is when you have two versions of a program and you want to test a newer version against a specific cohort. So he's been spliced in from version 3.0.
Oh, okay.
Or in
That's
2.0,
nice.
he's been spliced in, and we're being A/B tested to see how we respond to a 3.0 character in a 2.0 universe.
I'm okay with the splice.